Pretty soon I'm gonna have to rename this channel Famous Jews of Star Wars, since a couple of weeks ago we talked about Harrison Ford and his Lipschitz family of New Jersey. But today I want to change up the pace a little bit and talk about the late, great Carrie Fisher. She was an excellent actor with an excellent career, her most notable role of course being that of Princess Leia. But she had roles in other films such as The Blues Brothers and When Harry Met Sally. And what a lot of people might not know is that she also had a side hustle working as a script doctor in Hollywood movies. And she was also an outspoken activist and talked very frankly about her struggles with mental illness and drug addiction. She has Jewish ancestry on her father's side. And I'm pleased to say that there was a lot of information able to be found about her family, taking it back possibly to the 18th century. I'm Yona Paley, and I believe genealogy is fun. And today, we're going to be tracing Carrie Fisher's paternal line as far back as possible. She was born in 1956 in Burbank, California to two famous parents. Her mother, Debbie Reynolds, was a prominent Hollywood actress who you might recognize from Singin' in the Rain. And her father, Eddie Fisher, was a famous singer. And he actually had a really successful musical career with dozens and dozens of hit songs between the 1940s and 1960s. And not only that, Eddie Fisher also had a television career and has 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one for music and one for TV. He was the 4th child of Joseph Fisher and Katie Miniker. Joseph Fisher's name was not always Fisher. In fact, after immigrating to the United States, he changed his last name from Tisch. Yussel Tisch, as he's listed on his 1913 ship manifest, came to America as a child and ultimately worked producing leather goods in a factory. By Eddie's own account, he was a nasty and abusive man, and in fact his wife left him as soon as the children grew up. Joseph wasn't the only member of the Tisch family to immigrate to the United States. In fact, 4 of his sisters, along with his father, Morris, and mother, Seema Peltzman, came to settle in Philadelphia in the 1910s. Morris was a tailor who changed his last name to Fish, and so the Fishes and the Fishers were all the same Tisch family. According to their ship manifests, they came from a city called Proskurov, which in the modern day is the city of Khmelnytsky in Ukraine. And it's also the name of the region in which the city is located. Now, thankfully, the trail does not stop here. On Morris's death certificate, it lists the name of his parents, which were Anshel Tisch and Esther. And here is where it gets interesting. First and foremost, Morris had a brother, Samuel, who also came to the United States. And from his gravestone, we learn that his Hebrew name was Simcha. Now, don't forget that point. On JewishGen, there are a handful of Tisch family members listed in the city of Duraznia, which is in Khmelnytsky province. And on a census from 1875, we see there are 2 Anshel Tisches. One is the son of Simcha, and the other is the son of Meir, Simcha's brother. Now, Anshel, which is the Yiddish version of the Hebrew name Asher, is not a super common given name. And since we know that Samuel's Hebrew name was Simcha, it's pretty safe to assume that his grandfather was Simcha, son of Meir. Either way, the trail moves up in the same direction towards Meir Tisch, who is most likely Carrie Fisher's fourth great-grandfather. But it doesn't stop there. On that same 1875 census, there is a Meir listed, son of Ovishaya. The census says that he's recently died, and unfortunately there's a 40-year gap between this census and the next available one. It's not really clear from the 1833 military list whether this Meir is the same Meir who's the father of Anshul, but given that it seems to be a pretty small family, I would not be surprised in the least if it was the right guy. Meir's father is listed as being Ovishaya, and while there is an Ovishaya, son of Yankel, who shows up in the same census, I don't believe that this is the same person as Meir's father, for the simple reason that Meir already had an 11-year-old son named Ovishaya. And as I talked about before, in Ashkenazi Jewish naming traditions, you usually don't name someone after someone who's still alive. So this person is probably related to him and shares a common ancestor, but is most likely not Meir's father. But who knows? We're missing a 40-year period of time between the 1875 and 1833 censuses, so until some of those gaps are filled in, it's going to be difficult to figure out exactly who Meir's ancestors were. And there you have it. Now we have Carrie Fisher's direct paternal line traced back through her second, third, fourth, and maybe even fifth great-grandfathers, all traced back to the city of Duraznia in Ukraine. And that wraps up this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm always looking forward to bringing you more videos on famous Jews, as well as tips and tricks that you can use in your own genealogy research. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.